Hello. I want to ask you a question. If I was to ask you today, go out to your car, and if it's perfectly neat and clean, I'll give you $500. How many of you watching today would earn that $500? Well, I like to tell you a motto that's something I live by and Alexis kind of lives by. The secret to your future is hidden in your daily routine. Now, I may be made fun of because of my, as like the people call it, OCD, but it actually gives comfort to me in my routine. And we're going to talk about that in this up and coming podcast. Hi, Alexis.
Hi. Welcome back to ATP Health Hackers. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Tina.
And welcome to our new space.
This is our new podcast space. As you can see, the accurate arrangement of things. Order.
Yes.
Okay. When I first did a job interview way back in the 90s, I was interviewing at the Los Angeles County Health Department. And to my I was a little taken back. I walked in. They said the supervisor's here. He's waiting for you in a certain office. I go in, and the interview began as I walked in the door. They wanted to see where I put my purse, and my personal belongings was the first thing. And then he introduced himself. He said, "Hi, I'm Stan Sarkeesian, and I'd like to take a walk to your car." And I was like, "Okay." Well, anyone who knows me who's watching this knows I grew up in a household where if my car was a mess, I would be in big trouble. When my dad would start the cars in the morning, if our gas wasn't half or full, radio off, and no trash on the floor, we got good merits, like, good job or whatever. But if it wasn't, we would actually get in trouble, possibly grounded. So we walked out to the car, but I had no idea what we were doing. And he said, he was asking me if I knew who the Los Angeles County City Council was. And to be honest, I didn't. So I already felt like I was getting more insecure, more insecure. But we got to my car and he asked me to pop the trunk. And apparently, when I popped the trunk, he was just startled. And he said, I just can't believe it. And I thought, oh my God, what's wrong? I wasn't sure what he was upset about. He goes, I have never, ever in all my 30 years of working as a supervisor, or however long he was supervisor, seen a nicest trunk in a car as yours. And then he proceeded to go to the glove box and throw out the car. And so I received 100%. The only one in his entire um, hiring of employees. And granted, I wasn't the most like I didn't get the best grades. I was like an 87% on my test. And so it brought my score up to 100%. I was the first one in his office to receive the 100%. Now, I'm not bragging because I was raised like that. I was raised that everything had a place. And if it wasn't in place, it was used as a punishment. And so I didn't want to raise my daughters that strict, but they did get in trouble for things being out of order. What would you say about that, Alexis?
I think the motto that we were raised on is don't put it down, put it away.
Yes. And that's something I live by every single day.
Yes.
I for me, I'm a proponent of routine, and not a routine where
it's obligatory.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes, because our mentor does talk about that. We have a spiritual mentor that says you don't just read the Bible in a routine. It should be like from the heart and like something that you go into the spiritual realm. So I'm not talking about that. But like, for example, my routine begins I wake up about 4:30 a.m. in the morning.
I wake up at 4.
Oh, 4. Okay. And I have my first cup of coffee. I sit down and do my Bible
study. Coffee.
You don't need coffee?
No.
I do a 30 to 35 minute Bible study.
I do an hour.
You do an hour? Oh my gosh. Okay. I play football.
In fact, I don't even sleep. I stay up until like 2 and then just
You're really in order. You're like you're so perfect, accurate arrangement of things. And then after I do my Bible study, I go through my email, make sure that my work's all in order. I answer every email. I make it a point to answer within 12 hours. So if the email,
I do it within an hour.
You do it within an hour?
Yeah.
You're just amazing.
Respond immediately.
You're amazing. I raised a great thing.
You don't have to wait for my response. Not even 12 hours.
Well, so I have 12 hours. And then after I check my email, do my Bible study, we then go on an hour walk.
And sometimes when she leaves, I go on another walk before
Wow.
I
You're
start work.
spectacular.
I know.
Do you play football too?
Yes, I was actually captain.
Okay. We might be poking fun at this. This is something we saw on Bravo. It was one of my most favorite shows. It was a
Yes.
housewife.
It was the original OG New
Yes.
York Housewives.
Yes, and they were talking about how she was a cheerleader and then the other one was a cheerleader. And it was so funny that
It was
we do
very
this
funny.
skit all the time because it is hilarious. But as much as we're making fun of it, it is really and truly how I live my life. Once we finish our walk, I then get ready. I come up here and I start the whole process up here.
I even have, this is how much we actually walk.
Yes.
Oh, there's like
a rock.
thing stuck in the shoe.
Yeah.
But we actually wear the soles down of our shoes every like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, they say can. They say your shoes can last 6 months, but
No.
on cloud, no, they don't last 6 months.
I mean, this is literally how much we walk.
Yes. Can you see that? I don't know if they can actually see that. You can see how the actual sole is worn down, and then that's when we know we need to get new shoes. So
yes.
Part of our day is you got this all dirty. Yeah. Oh. Oh goodness.
We will vacuum that.
Okay. So as I said, for me, if that's not how I live my life, I feel out of order. So, sometimes they say, a psychologist has said, the way someone's room looks or their car looks is really how their brain looks. So in the morning, I'm not acting like I'm perfect too, by the way. There might be mornings that my desk area where I do my Bible study and work emails, it may build up, but it's like, if you spend, say, Fridays is my Friday 15 minutes. I kind of call it that, Friday 15 minutes, where I make sure if there were a couple extra things, bills or things that have to go out, that Friday morning, I'd do an extra additional 15 minutes in my routine that you just heard to make sure those things are put away. We do have a rule at our home that when you come home, you don't just put it down, you immediately put it away. This frees us up so on the weekends we can do things like this. We can go to a random football game. We don't have to say like, oh, this Saturday I got to clean my house, because what people do is they have a tendency to just store things and store things and store things. And then before you know it, they're such out of whack. Their room's out of whack. Their house is out of whack that they have to literally take a day to get caught up. So we have the spontaneity to be able to do anything that we're invited to, because our goal is to keep it up like that. Now, I will say I sometimes ruin people's days because I do have to have it in order. Like the kitchen has to be clean before I leave.
Oh, there is one thing. It is the weirdest thing. Literally, the first thing when she comes home, the coffee is like completely, she has to like touch the coffee pot like immediately when she comes home.
I don't like things messy. So I know
but it's not even messy. Sometimes I want to still drink iced coffee, and she never asks, do you still want some more coffee?
I don't.
Literally, the second she gets into that kitchen, that coffee pot is emptied into the, it's,
I'd like to know that that's clean and that's done. That's organized. Then I feed the dogs and that's done and organized, and I know that's cleaned up. And so I said, I know I get on people's nerves. Like I know I get on people's nerves.
That's
but
just
okay.
how I know. So I have to like rush. I make sure I rush. Actually, you know what? Now I just start taking the coffee in the morning, and then
she puts it away.
When she gets home.
So it's taught her to be a little bit more organized too.
No, very efficient and faster in my movements.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. But in talking about, not putting it down, putting it away, I will confess too that yes, we do that, but sometimes I think the equal importance is putting it away correctly, not just like, people have that closet or that junk drawer, they just shove everything in because you're, on the outside it still looks like it's a good, clean, organized, efficient environment, but then when you open those drawers, so
taking the time, like you may have put it away like she said, but I'm sure everyone has that junk drawer. I know I do. I know I have a couple drawers when I'm looking for a particular t-shirt that I needed to wear that day. I might take them all out and I don't put them back as efficiently. But to spend that extra, like say Saturday, as your cleanup day, whatever day that you have an extra spare time, you shouldn't wait till it has to become, like I said, a project, like what
Yes.
she has sometimes does. She makes it such a project that then she's exhausted and then she doesn't want to do anything else because
Yes.
it's a project. And I'm not acting like I'm perfect, by the way, because some people, like I said, this is annoying to some people. I've been labeled OCD and they make fun of me, even here at my gym.
No,
They know
she's
when I
come a
get
long way.
here, I'm going to clean it all up. And I have come a long way because when they were little, that would be something that would send me into like a possible nervous breakdown to see things out of order. So letting some stuff go is, I feel like something I've done that has improved,
Yes.
without losing the order that I like to have, that keeps me in order mentally, physically, spiritually. Like, I don't feel in order if I don't do my Bible study. I feel like something's missing. I miss that time with Jesus. Even if I, we do the Bible in the year, we're on our 4 or 5 year. I should have it memorized by now, but I don't because I actually try to listen to what's happening that particular time and fill it into like how I can make this work in my day. How can I help someone in my day? And as far as like weight loss, people always ask us like, "What do you guys do? You're always like you always look pretty fit." And it's like, but we actually take the time on Saturdays or Sunday, whatever day we pick, and we do food prep for the day, so that like we don't eat a lot of to go food. We don't eat a lot of fast food. As a matter of fact, I don't think we eat really fast food at all. You know what I mean? Um, we might get like a pizza now and then, but it's like a healthy pizza made with great flour, and we research the restaurant. But I do pride myself in the fact that um, we food prep, and I do it for my animals, for my stepson, for my family, for my husband, and for her, that she always has healthy food available in the refrigerator. Now, do they want that all the time? No. You know what I mean? They may not want that all the time. But in the meantime, we do try to get our food in order. Our exercise is never left without of our routine. And the same thing I teach people here. If you don't schedule in your exercise, meaning you have to schedule it in at a certain time of the day and you make it like a notebook that is for you, you have to schedule that particular, time into your day. What do you think?
I would say so.
Yes.
I think, well, especially with my job, it's not necessarily I look forward to that walk like every morning, but I could tell the difference in the days that I do walk before work and not walk before work. It's not so much about the energy. I'd say my energy is the same walking or not walking at the end of the day. It's my mental space at the end of the day. I think I really do need that walk. It helps me kind of relieve some stress so it's not such a buildup when my days are kind of a little more intense. Um, so I'd say it's important
And that
in
walk
that
is
sense.
also fellowship time. Like we get to talk about, like, she might be having a stressful day coming up. And so her and I can talk together about, like, this is what we should probably do to make you feel better in your day. And the same thing she does with me. Like, if I get very stressed out when I have a new client because I'm so worried that I'm not going to be perfect for them. And she'll say, like, just one little word of something that, you're right. This person's going to be great,
Mhm.
So number one is the exercise, which is really good for us, healthy. But again, I go back to the spiritual and to the mental part. It's the fellowship. So like you have to find something in your day that works for you. Like my routine may not work for everybody. Her routine may not work for everybody. She's a perfectionist. So if she has a new um, routine or something she has to learn at work, like if she's learning a new procedure, a PRP or something, until she has that perfected, she is like crazy. You know what I mean? But I
Yes.
understand that because that's how I feel about order, is how she feels about her education and her schooling. Like she didn't settle for 99%. It had to be 100%. So we're not trying to make you strive to be like us.
Mhm.
We're just saying to free up your day, stay in order. To free up your day, think of it, what is the most accurate arrangement of things for you? And that, again, I'm going to say this again, the secret to your success is hidden in your daily routine. So what you do or don't do will determine how successful you are or aren't.
I think a little takeaway and a homework assignment to for you, the listener, is really take notice of your environment. If you notice that your desk is a little in disarray or you have piled up laundry everywhere, kind of take note of how you're feeling internally, because I think that can really signal like internally what's going on how your outside is. If your outside's chaos, that usually kind of represents your inside being chaos too.
Absolutely.
So maybe just kind of take a little note.
And feel free to drop us an email at, what's the email address?
Oh, um,
ATP.
well, there's a couple.
Okay.
So it is ATP Health Hackers at gmail.com.
And if you'd like us to help you find order in your home, feel free to email us.
Also, share tips on things that you like to
Yes,
keep yourself
what's
in
your
order.
favorite way to stay in order? And we'll announce it on our next podcast. And if you have the best tip, we'll even give you a prize. Yes.
Ooh.
And then later we'll share more things that I do here at Spin 360 to get us in order. But we just wanted to kind of come back, introduce to you our first podcast, and talk about an area that's really important to me. And it's how I kind of pride myself on how I wanted to raise my daughters and my sons on how they can have a more successful life, no matter what gets thrown at you when you're in order and your mind's in order. I feel you have a better attack at the day and your life, and anyone that I know will tell me that I have helped them in that area if they were out of order in that area, any area of their life, food, sports, their daily routine, their home life, their cleanliness, their car, especially.
So thanks for tuning in, and tune in to next time.
Yeah, don't forget to share,
Like, subscribe.
subscribe, follow, comment, and we look forward to hearing from you.